Duncan, the King of Scotland, lives, Macbeth is surprised by these predictions and secretly fantasizes about becoming the king.
When shall we meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle is lost and won.
There'll be air in the settest sun.
Where hast thou been, sister?
Killing swine.
Sister, where thou?
A sailor's wife hast just in her lap, and munched, and munched, and munched. Give me some, said I. Away with thee, she cried, and look what I have.
Show me, show me.
I have her husband's thumb, wrecked as homeward he did come.
A drum, Macbeth doth come.
The weird sisters hand in hand, posters of sea and land, dice to go about, dice to thine and thrice to mine, and thrice again to make up 9.
Peace, the charms wound up.
So foul and fair day I've not seen. What are these so withered and so wild in their attire that they look not like the inhabitants of the earth, and yet are on it? Are you alive? You seem to understand me. You should be women, and yet you have beards.
Speak if you can. What are you?
All hail Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Glom.
All hail, Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail Macbeth, thou shalt be king hereafter.
In the name of truth, are you fantastical? You greet Macbeth, to me speak not. If you can look into the seeds of time, and say which grain will grow, and which will not, speak then to me, who neither beg nor fear your pleasures, nor your hate.
Hail.
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 Lesser than Macbeth, and greater.
Not so happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo.
Banquo and Macbeth, all hail.
Stay, you curt speakers. Tell me more. By my father's death, I know I am Thane of Glom's. But how am I Thane of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives, and to be king is impossible. To what do you owe this strange intelligence, and why upon this heath do you stand away? Speak, I charge you.
Where have they vanished?
Into the airs of the wind. I wish they had stayed.
Hail, Thane of Cawdor.
Can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me so?
The Thane of Cawdor lives, yes, but it is proven that he is a traitor to Scotland. What he has lost, the noble Macbeth hath won.
Thane of Glom's I am, and now Thane of Cawdor. Perhaps chance will make me king.
Look how Macbeth is enraptured. Macbeth, we wait for thee.
Forgive me, my dull brain is full of many thoughts. Enough. Let us go meet the king.
Scene 2, Macbeth's castle at Dunsinane, a few days later. Lady Macbeth receives a letter from her husband telling her about the witch's predictions. After discovering that King Duncan will be visiting the castle later that night, she and Macbeth plot to murder the king while he sleeps. At the end of the scene, King Duncan arrives with his 2 sons, Malcolm and Donald.
They met me on the day of success. They have more than mortal knowledge. When I wanted to question them further, they vanished. As I stood, wrapped in wonder, a messenger from the king hailed me, as Thane of Cawdor, by which tale these 3 sisters had saluted me. This I write to thee, my dearest wife, that thou might rejoice at what greatness has promised thee. Farewell. Glom's thou art, and now Cawdor, and thou shalt be king as thou wast promised. Yet I do fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Hurry hither, that I might pour my speech into thine ear, and chastise with my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden crown. What is your message?
King Duncan comes here tonight.
You are mad to say this. Is not Macbeth with the king?
Macbeth is almost here, my lady.
I know he brings great news. Come, ye spirits, and fill me from top to toe with cruelty. Make thick my blood. Come, thick night, and cover me with the darkest smoke of hell, so my knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, stop, stop. Great Thane of Glom's, worthy Thane of Cawdor, greater than both you shall be hereafter.
King Duncan comes here tonight.
And when does he leave?
Tomorrow.
Never shall he see that tomorrow. Your face, Macbeth, is a book where people may read your thoughts. To full time, look like the time. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand, and your tongue. Look like an innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. King Duncan is coming, and must be taken care of.
We will speak further about this.
Look up clear, be confident, and leave the rest to me.
I don't want to know what
Ah, this castle hath pleasant air. It is quite delicate.
I've noticed, Your Majesty, that the air is quite delicate.
Ah, see our gracious hostess. Where's Macbeth? You're ahead of us. Ah, how we can ride. Fair and noble hostess, fear your death tonight.
Your servant ever, Your Majesty.
Give me your hand. Lead me to Macbeth. We shall love him highly and shall hold him in our esteem. By your leave, hostess.
I'm going to kill King Duncan. It's best I do it quickly. King Duncan is so good that his virtues will plead like angels. I've no reason to kill him. Only my ambition that drives me on. Well, what news?
He has almost finished his supper. Why have you left the banquet room?
Has he asked for me?
You knew who would.
You go no further in this horrible business. The king has distinguished me of late. He thinks highly of me.
Are you afraid?
Peace. I dare do all that any man would do. Who dares do more is none.
Then what made you break this agreement with me?
Suppose we fail?
We fail. Screw your courage to a sticking place, and we will not fail. For when King Duncan is asleep, his two servants, I, will make drunk with wine. Then, when they are asleep, why cannot you and I attack the on-guard Duncan? It'll seem like the two servants are the ones with guilt, for we will smear them with the king's blood.
Will not be noticed that we're the ones that smear the servants with blood?
Who will dare question us? For we will make our grief roar upon his death. Come, Macbeth.
False face must hide what the false heart does know.
Scene 3, Macbeth's castle 2 hours later. Macbeth murders King Duncan and is filled with despair and guilt afterward. Lady Macbeth reminds her husband to be strong and to hide his feelings from other people. Early in the morning, Macbeth, a friend of King Duncan's, and 2 other noblemen named Ross and Lennox come by for a visit. The visitors are horrified to discover that King Duncan has been killed, and King Duncan's 2 sons flee Scotland because they are afraid people will think it was they who killed their father. Afterward, Macbeth hires a gang to kill his friend Banquo, who has become suspicious of Macbeth's ambitions.
How goes the night, boy?
The moon is down. I've not heard the clock.
Here, take my sword. The heavens are thick tonight. The candles are all out. Hand me my sword. Who's there?
A friend.
But, sir, not yet at rest? The king's abed. He hath been an unusual pleasure, and set forth his diamond for your wife. I dreamt last night of the 3 weird sisters. To you they have showed some truth.
I think not of them, yet when we can find a time. Let's talk about that business.
A kind pleasure.
Good night then, and sleep well.
Thanks, sir, the same to you.
Go bid my mistress. My drink is ready. She strike upon the bell. Get thee to bed. Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle toward my hand? Come, let me clutch thee. I thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation of my brain? I see thee still, and on thy blade spots of blood, which was not so before. There's no such thing. It is bloody business which makes me think I see the same. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Fear not, Duncan, for this is a death now, that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. That which hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark, listen, 'twas the owl that shrieked. He is about to do the deed. The doors are open. The grooms are drunk and snoring. I have drunk their wine.
Who's there?
Alas, I'm afraid they have awakened, and 'tis not done. I have laid their daggers ready. He could not miss them. If the king had not risen, my father as he slept, I have done it. My husband,
I've done the deed. Did you not hear noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did not you speak?
When?
Now,
As they descended?
I,
This is a sorry sight.
a foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
There's one did laugh in his sleep, and one cried murder. Yet they did wake each other. I stood and heard them, said prayers, and again to sleep.
There are 2 lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen. And the other, I say, see me with these hangman's hand, listening to their fears. For I cannot say amen, when they did say God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore could I not pronounce amen, when I most need blessing, and amen stuck in my throat?
These deeds must not be thought of to these ways. It'll make us mad.
I thought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth does murder sleep. The innocent sleep, sleep bendits of relative care. Balm of her minds and chief nurture in life's feast.
What do you mean?
Still cry to all the house, lambs of murder sleep. Therefore, Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? Why, worthy they, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly of such things. Go, get some water, and wash this filthy witness from your hands. Why did you bring these daggers from the place? They're supposed to lie there. Go, carry them, and smear the sleeping grooms with blood.
I will go no further. I'm afraid to think of what I've done. I dare not look on it again.
Coward, give me the daggers. The dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears the painted devil. If he is still bleeding, I'll gild the faces of the grooms with blood, for it must seem like their guilt.
Whence is that knocking? How is it with me that every noise appalls me? What hands are here? Ha! Will all great Neptune's ocean wash his blood clean from my hands? No, this my hand, where they make the multitudinous seas green turn to red.
Now my hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear knocking at the south entry. Will it retire us to our chamber? A little water clears us of this deed. How easy it is then. Hark, more knocking. Get on your nightgown, lest they call us, and be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, were best not know myself. Wake Duncan with this knocking. I wish thou couldst.
Here's a knocking indeed. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there in the devil's name? Knock, knock. Knock. Who? Never a quiet. Who are you? I pray you remember the porter.
Was it so late, then, before you went to bed, that you lie so late?
Say, sir, we are carousing till very late.
Is thy master stirring? Ah, a knocking has awakened him, so here he comes.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow above.
Is the king stirring, worthy thane?
Not yet.
He did command me to call him early. I have almost slipped the hour.
Is the king leaving today?
He is. He did say so.
The night has been unruly. Wherever we were, our chimney has been blown down. Some say the earth was feverish and did shake.
'Twas a rough night.
Can't remember a worse night, sir.
Oh, ho, time no hawk can receive nor name thee.
What is wrong?
Most sacrilegious murder!
What did you say? Murder?
Mean you, his majesty?
Oppose the chamber and destroy your sight. Do not bid me speak. See, then speak for yourselves. Awake, awake, ring the alarm bell. Murder and treason, Banquo, Donovan, Malcolm, awake and look on death itself.
What is the business of such a hideous trumpet calls to awake the sleepers of this house? Speak, speak.
Oh, gentle lady, 'tis not for you to hear what I can speak. Oh, Banquo, Banquo, Will Master's murdered.
Well, alas, what, in our house?
Dear Macduff, I prithee contradict thyself and say 'tis not so.
Had I died an hour before seeing this sight, I lived a blessed time.
Your royal father's murdered.
By whom? Those of his chambers, it seems, had been. Their hands and faces were covered with blood, and so were their daggers, which we found unwiped upon their pillows. No man's life was to be trusted with them.
Oh yeah, I do repent my free, that they did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who could be wise at such a moment? No man. Here lay King Duncan, his skin laced with his blood. There, the murderers who refrained from killing him.
Help me, I
Go
faint.
to the lady.
We shall come to question this most bloody piece of work to know it further.
We can meet in the hall together.
What will you do? I'll go to England. To Ireland I are separate forth and shall keep us both the safer. Where we are there, daggers and men smile. We are surely in danger if we stay here.
Yes, our safest way is to run. That far to horse, and let us not be dainty leave David.
Malcolm and Donovan, the king's two sons, are slain away fled, which puts upon them the suspicion of the deed.
And 'tis most likely the crown will fall upon Macbeth.
Yes, Macbeth will be king.
Thou hast it now, king, Cawdor, Glamis, all his weird sisters as promised, but I fear thou playest most foully for it. But hush, no more.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir. I'll request your presence.
Your Highness,
Ride you this afternoon?
I, my good lord,
Is it far you ride?
as far as it will take from now till supper.
Be back in time for our feast.
My lord, I will.
We hear our bloody cousins are hiding in England and Ireland, not confessing their cruel murders. We can talk of that tomorrow. Farewell to your chief tonight. Is Fleance go with you?
I, my good lord.
I wish your horse was swiftest and surest of foot. Farewell. Are those men here?
Yes, outside the palace gate.
Bring them before me. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears and banquets dig deep. There's none but he that I do fear. Now go to the door and stay there till I call. Was it not yesterday we spoke together?
It was so pleased, Your Highness.
Well then, now are you convinced that Banquo and Ida is your enemy? Is he that keeps you so in bondage? Do you believe it?
We do, my liege.
And stand you ready to free yourself from this bondage forever.
We are men, my lord.
I am one, my liege, whom the world has treated so poorly that I am reckless what I do to spite the world, and I am other.
We stand ready to perform what you command us.
Remember that I require clearness in this. You must do a thorough job, leaving no rub or blotches in the work. Fleance, his son, will accompany his ride. Both father and son must die. Both. It is finished. Banquo, your soul is in flight. To find heaven, it must find it tonight.
How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone?
We but scotched the snake, not killed it.
Come, my lord. Be bright and jovial amongst your guests tonight.
And so I shall, and so I pray be you. But full scorpions in my mind. Dear wife, thou knowest that Banquo and his Fleance live.
Just comfort yet. They are assailable.
There shall be done a dreadful deed.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest till thou love the deed.
Scene 4. A woods near the castle late in the afternoon. Macbeth's gang of hired murderers kills Banquo, but Banquo's son Fleance manages to escape.
'Tis nearly dark, and here approaches the subject of our watch.
Hark, I hear horses.
'Tis Banquo then.
He usually walks from here to the palace gate. It will rain tonight.
Let it come down.
Fly, good Fleance, fly.
There's but one down! The sun has fled!
We have lost the best half of the
Let's
game.
away and say how much is done.
Scene 5. That evening in the castle banquet hall. Now that Macbeth is the king of Scotland, a banquet is held in his honor. However, he is greatly disturbed by the appearance of Banquo's ghost. Incidentally, none of the other banquet guests are able to see the ghost of Banquo.
Please sit down. But first, hearty welcome.
Your Majesty.
There's blood upon thy face.
'Tis Banquo then.
Is he dead?
His throat cut. That ain't good for him.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats.
Most real sir. Fleance did escape.
Then comes my fit again. I will see you tomorrow. Be gone.
My good lord, you do not give good cheer. The feast is growing cold.
May it please your highness, sit.
Where is our banquo? His absently blame upon his promise.
May it please your highness to grace us with the royal company.
The table is full.
Here's a place to serve, sir.
Where?
Here, my good lord. What is it, your highness?
Which of you has done this?
What?
Thou cannot say I did it. Don't shake your bloody head at me.
Gentlemen, rise. His highness is not well.
Sit, worthy friends. My lord is often thus, and has been throughout his youth. I pray you, keep your seats. His fit is momentary. He will be well in a moment. If you notice him, you shall find him. Please, eat, and regard him not. Are you a man?
I, and a bold one, the dare look in that which man called the devil himself.
This is the only your imagination. This is the air-drawn dagger which, you said, led you to killing King Duncan. All these flaws and starts would well become a woman. When all is done, you look, but on a chair.
Prithee, see, there, behold, look, what say you?
Get hold of thyself.
But I saw him.
Fie, for shame.
The time has been that, when the brains were out, the man would die, and there and end. But now they rise again and push us from our chairs.
My good lord, my worthy lord, your noble friends do miss you.
I do forget. I have a strange infirmity, which is nothing serious. Come, love and help to all. Give me some wine. Fill full. We drink to the general joy of the whole table and to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss. Would he right here? To him we drink.
To Banquo.
To Banquo!
Put in my sight, let the earth hide thee. Thy bones are marrowless, thy blood is cold. Thou hast no speculation, and those eyes as glare with.
Think of this, good peers, but as a thing of custom. Only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
What any man dare, I dare. Take any shape but this, my firm nerves shall never tremble. Away, horrible shadow! It is gone. I'm a man again. Pray you, sit still.
You've displaced the mirth, broke the good meeting.
How can you behold such sights? It is the natural ruby of your cheeks, but mine are blanched with fear.
What sights, my lord?
I pray you, speak not. He grows worse and worse. Questions enrage him. At once, leave. Don't stand on ceremony, but go at once.
Good night and better health attended majesty.
A kind good night to all.
What is the hour of the night?
It is almost morning.
Why do you think Macbeth did not come?
Did you send for him?
No, but I've heard it said he would not come. In his home, I keep a spy. Tomorrow, I go to the weird sisters. More shall I speak. For now, I must know the worst for my own good. I am steeped in blood so far. The returning would be as tedious as going ahead.
You need sleep, my lord.
Come, to sleep, if my strange fear will allow me to sleep.
Scene 6, the heat the following night. Macbeth speaks with the witches who bring in apparitions to make more predictions. Macbeth is told that he will be king unless the forest of Great Burnham Woods moves up to his castle at Dunsinane. Also, Macbeth feels threatened by the nobleman Macduff and leaves to destroy Macduff's family.
Thrice the butt cat has mewed, thrice and once the hedgehog's whined.
'Tis time, 'tis time.
Round about the cauldron go, in the poison our trials throw.
Double, double toil and trouble,
fire burn in the cauldron bubble. Fillet of finny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake.
I have newt, toe of frog, bull of bat and tongue of dog, adder's fork and blind worm's sting, lizard's leg and owlet's wing. For a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth, boil and bubble.
Double, double toil and trouble, fire burn in the cauldron bubble.
Cool it with baboon's blood, then the charm is firm and good.
By the pricking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes.
And now, you secret midnight hags, what is it you do?
A deed without a name.
Answer me to what I ask.
Speak,
Demand.
We'll answer.
Would you rather hear it from our mouths or from our masters?
Call them. Let me see them.
Come high or low, thyself to show.
Macbeth, 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 beware Macduff. For thy good caution, thanks. Macduff shalt not live.
Listen, but speak not to it.
Be
Brave and proud, for Macbeth shall never vanquish until brave Birmingham Wood moves to high Dunstane Hill. That will never be, for how can a forest move its earthbound roots? My heart throbs no one thing, shall vanquish children ever reign in this kingdom.
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me this, an eternal curse fall on you.
Show
Show
his eyes and grieve his heart. Come, let shadows so depart.
Thou art like the spirit of Banquo. Down, thy crown does sear my eyeballs. Filthy hags, why do you show me this? I'll see no more. Horrible sight. Where are they? Gone. Let this pernicious hour steal the curse from the calendar. Serve it. Saw you the weird sisters? My lord. As a galloping of horses. Who was it that came by? Fled to England. The Castle Macduff, I will surprise. Give the edge of his sword to his wife and babes, and all unfortunate soul that trace him in his line. This deed I'll do before this purpose close. Where are these gentlemen? Come, bring me where they are.
Scene 7. Several nights later in Macbeth's castle. Lady Macbeth's caretaker asks the doctor to observe Lady Macbeth as she sleepwalks. Her words and actions prove that she had a part in the murders. Lady Macbeth's insanity drives her beyond any chance of recovery.
I have 2 nights to watch with you, but could not perceive any truth you report. When was it she last walked?
Since His Majesty went to the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, take forth a paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, and afterwards seal it, and again return to bed. Yet all this and was fast asleep.
In this slumbery agitation, besides her walking, any other actual performances have you heard her say?
That, sir, which I will not repeat.
You may tell me, and you should.
Lo you, here she comes, and upon my life, fast asleep. Observe her.
How came she by that light?
She has it lit by her continually. 'Tis her command.
Her eyes are open.
Aye, but her senses are shut.
What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hands.
It is an accustomed action for her to be washing her hands. I have known her to continue this for over an hour.
Yet here's a spot.
Hark, she speaks. I will write down what she says to satisfy my memories more strongly.
Out damned spot. Out I say. Who would have thought the king to have so much blood in him?
Do you mark that?
What, will these hands never be clean?
We have heard what we should not.
She has spoke what she should not. Heavens knows what she has done.
Yet here's the smell of blood still. All the perfumes in Arabia could not sweeten this little hand.
What a sigh. This disease is beyond my practice.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you, Banquo is buried. He cannot come out of his grave.
Terrible!
To bed, to bed. There's a knocking at the gate. Come, come, come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed, to bed, to bed.
Will she now to bed?
Directly.
More she needs the divine of a physician. Good God, forgive us all. I think but dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor.
Scene 8. Macbeth's castle several weeks later. Macbeth is informed that a wood seems moving towards his castle, so Macbeth knows he is doomed. Macbeth comes to avenge his family and kills Macbeth. As their play ends, Malcolm, King Duncan's oldest son, is crowned the true King of Scotland.
Bring me no more reports. The Burnham Woods move to Dunstane Castle. Macbeth shall not vanquish thee. The heart I bear shall never shake with fear.
What is it, thou cream-faced loon? Where are you going with that goose look?
There's 10,000
Geese villain?
soldiers, sir.
Thou lily-livered boy, what soldiers?
The English soldiers.
Get thy face away. What was that noise?
There was a cry of alarm in my mouth.
The scream again.
The queen, my lord, is dead.
Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day. This is the last syllable of reported time, and all over yesterdays I've lain the fool's way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle. Life but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. Is a tale told by an idiot, both sound and fury, signifying nothing. What is thy message? Quickly.
I should report what I saw, but I don't know how to say it.
Well, say it.
As I stood my watch upon the hill, I looked toward burning woods, and I felt the woods being moved.
Liar and slave.
Running and doing will be, if you're not be still in these 3 miles, and moving road through.
If thou speakest false, upon the next tree thou shalt hang. Fear not, till Burnham Wood do come to Dunsinane. And now the moving grove comes toward Dunsinane. Ring the alarm bell. At least we will die with harness on our back.
Turn, hellhound, turn!
Of all men else, I voided thee. Beget thee back. My soul is too much charred blood. It's thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword, thou bloody villain!
I will not fight with thee.
Then you are coward and live to be mocked. We have thee painted upon a pole and underin. Here may you see the tyrant.
I will not yield. Land Macduff, and damn be him that first cries, hold enough.
Hail, King, bestow thou art. Behold where stands usurper's cursed head. The time is free. Hail, King of Scotland!